record to the cloud. Good morning, everybody, on this Monday, September 23rd, and we have one more monthly subscription auto ship that's coming out, so make sure that your customers' orders go through. Definitely be sure to check that in your back office by the 27th so that you know whose orders went through. A lot of times credit card numbers change or fraud and they have to put a new credit card in, so that's most of the time, and just say, oh my gosh, you know, I love the app. The app always reminds you of what doesn't happen, and you can just send it right there to that person, and it saves you guys. It saves your business. So anyway, we have a very special edition. We have Kevin Messerchmidt on this call today, and Kevin is going to be engaging with Anna Merrill and Jenny Bacon to and it's going to help all of us. It's going to help all of us to just really empower them to work through what it is that blocks not just them, but this is, you know, the fears, the blocks, the organization, all of it, the accountability, the follow-ups, and just, you know, really looking at yourself and how you can grow yourself better. And Kevin is just such a wonderful person in Wisconsin, in our upline, LifeVantage, and comes our LifeVantage family. So I'm going to go ahead and, go ahead and meet everybody. And I may have a guest that pops on here as well that I spent some time with yesterday, who I just saw at yoga, and I've invited her to join in on the call. So anyway, before we begin, I want to recognize two amazing women, and I know there was LifeVantage Academies that happened, and I think we're going to hold it until next Monday because I just want to get right to Kevin, but I also want to honor and let let Isa Dinerman and Leanne Hawley from Canada, Isa from Prescott, Arizona, to share their experience at what really we all need to strive to get to in LifeVantage is the Pro 5 Summit. So they just flew in. I kept calling it Winter Park, but it's Park City, Utah. And they are back. So let's take it away. I'm going to start with Leanne. Leanne is in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She is on Danny Stevenson's team under Dr. Sveta Silverman. She is a nurse. She has had incredible results from our products, but her father, it's really what happened when her father's health was really declining to where there was no hope, and then was given some of these products, and just, you know, she kept every day like showing something different on Facebook on his progress, and it was a miracle. So with that, this woman is unstoppable. I was in the Bahamas with her. I think it was the Bahamas, right? We were all in the Bahamas. Mm-hmm. We had lunch together. Yeah. And I think you were a Pro 3 mm-hmm. at the time. And you guys, that was May of last year. Okay, right? And she is already Pro 5, working her way very closely to Pro 6. And and I knew, I could see it from the fire in her eyes that you could not stop her. So what was it that got you to the Pro 5 Summit, Leanne? And then share just some golden nuggets about your experience this weekend.
Hi, thanks, Marissa. Sorry, I'm in my car. I just dropped my daughter off at work. We've got the laws around here in Edmonton. We can't drive with our phones. We'll get a $300 fine, whatever. So I just was able to get on. So thank you so much for that introduction. Okay, I'm going to start crying. This company, like, these products saved my father's life, like you talked about. Sorry. There's nothing that anybody can do to knock me down or say anything negative about this company, because I know what it did. I know what it did to my family, and where my family would be without these products. Saying that, so, you know, in Bahamas, it was Pro 3. And in that time, like, you know, life still is there. It's still in your way. But it's, you make this work in the nooks and crannies of your time. And by building a strong base, one at a time, it's duplication. That will grow. It is, you know what, I know, I mean, some people get to the top very, very quickly. You know what, I'm very firm believer, once, like, when I hit that Pro 5, it's staying there. Like, it's not going down. And I want to do that for 6 and for 7 as well. This weekend, you know what, it was great for me, but even more, it was really important. My husband came. And my husband, he's an engineer. He's very successful corporate guy. You know what? He wants to, you know, he got to see the light at the end of the tunnel with this weekend. He got to sit and, you know, eat and drink and gulp beside corporate, and got to ask other spouses that were there. Tara Wilson's husband sat with him, and, you know, gave him tidbits of what he can do to support me. So if we could do this together, if he knows and understands what we have, then we're just going to go further faster as well. So that was, you know, super important for me. I mean, he ended up, I mean, the sacrifices he made, I think you guys, I put it on our post that the CEO of his, the company offered him a trip, him and I, a trip for two to Hawaii if he did not attend the Pro 5 Summit with me. And he declined. So, and he stayed up, he got up one night at 2:00 in the morning, and was working all night till 7:30 in the morning so that he could be completely and fully focused and engaged for the training sessions. And that's what he did. So I mean, like, kudos out to him for doing that and knowing how important this is. And I look, somebody said, well, you can go to Pro 5 next time. And I'm like, you know what? You know, Hawaii will always be there. Pro 5 will not be. And it was really, really important that we're there, and we were. So, and I know just having that and having that support, we're just going to go, you know, a lot further. And, you know, if it takes me 10 years to get to Pro 10, I don't care. I'm going to get there. You know, when we talked about the summit, the Pro 5 being the summit, and that's your base. We did the ATV tour, and I got to the top of the mountain, and I did a panoramic picture up there. And to me, the feeling literally just kind of hit me. I'm like, this is Pro 10. When I was at the top of that mountain, that's what Pro 10 looks like, right? And I'm going to keep that. I'm going to print that picture off. I'm going to put it on my fridge, and I'm going to know this is the top of the summit. This is where we're going as well. So thank you guys so much. I don't know if I you know what, people know I talk one-on-one. I don't talk on Zoom. So, you know, I appreciate everything everybody does for me and my team. We've got just an amazing group of people that all work together. We lock arms, and, you know, when the powers and numbers, and when you can get between here, those 6 inches, that's what stops a lot of people. You know, it's not about what we have. I mean, we have, the science is just incredible. Now I'm digging deep into the NAD to learn more about that. I can't even pronounce it. You know, somebody said, what is it? I don't even know. I can't even pronounce it. I'll learn how to pronounce it one day, but I need to learn what it's going to do to the cells, and even how, when I educate, you know, even as a nurse, I mean, nurse people think that medical is good. Medical is bad. So try to get a medical, it's kind of a joke. I'm like, it's kind of a waste of people's time, because they're so in their box, Western medicine, that's what they're taught. They're not taught anything else outside of that. And even when you do think outside of that, you are the different one. But my oldest daughter, she has a tattoo that says it's okay to be different, you know, and I might get the matching tattoo as well. So it's okay to be different. So we're different, and we think out of the box. So, you know, and in doing so, we're just going to help so many people along the way as well. So I'm sorry for babbling there, Marissa.
Are you kidding me? You are, you know, what happened, the experience is very difficult to explain and have other people feel that, but I'm feeling it from you. And I was going to say, give me a business nugget, but lots of business nuggets are coming through you because of this experience. And just what would you say to this team? You know, another huge takeaway, because I know there's so much at that Pro 5 Summit, but what other takeaway, and what do you say to these people on this call that have heart and soul in this business?
You know, I'm always one, I know I'm not really good in the follow-up. I know they say success is in the follow-up. I know that I have to work at that. But I know even when Tara was teaching about, like, digging down and pulling out around who you know. And one quote, and I wrote down, you know, what she said, and how she uses, do you know anybody that wants to be healthy and make money? Quit, like, what? It's a one-liner. I was like, oh my God, you know what? I can do that. So I actually did that. And when I sent some information to somebody that I met over the weekend, and I followed up, if this isn't for you, do you know anybody else that's interested in health and wants to make money? So I will be using that all the time. So, even it's a lot of times it's a lot of information, but if you can just pull out a few and apply that to your every daily, your mode of action every day, I guess. We'll just be successful. So, I know I'm too bad my husband couldn't jump. Would be awesome. I think I'm going to try to get him on the team call today. He's just in meetings right now, so I can. And then I know if he could say a few words to the team, that would be great. But
well, and also the Carrie Dickey call that follows this call, you're going to be on that as well. And if you can be on that phone call, that would be really
he's
awesome.
in the
Okay,
office.
Leanne?
I'll see if he can. So that would be awesome. But
yeah, you can type him in. Make sure you get on there early and that you're good. Well,
yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to thank you, Leanne. The growth I've seen in you has just been incredible, and the refining of your leadership, I can see the difference from, even the Bahama days. You really refined yourself. It's beautiful to see. I love watching you grow. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Okay.
when I first started, I tell you, Melanie, I joke because Melanie, I said, I'm not doing this as a business. I just want customers. But it took me, I think it's these 6 inches here, but it took me a while to realize I can't do this with just customers. I need a team of distributors to get the information out more to a lot of people that I don't know. So it's shifted mindset for myself as well. But thank you so much. I appreciate being on this call and everything everybody does. And my team who's watching, I've seen a few of them pop up, and I love you guys.
Oh, we love you too. Oh, my heart is full. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Isa Dinerman, who just returned and popped over here yesterday on her way home from the airport. And Isa, it's just been beautiful to watch you, grow and expand yourself and your confidence. And take it away.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? I'm outside. It's raining. So this was incredible, guys. Like Marisa just said, it's hard to put into words initially, because everyone told me it was going to be their favorite. It was their favorite event, or it was going to be really changing for me. And I can honestly say now I get it. When we arrived, I said to someone in corporate, I said, I don't know if it's the altitude, but or if I'm just so excited because your heart's just racing. But I guess basically, to keep it concise, to be around other people in a more intimate way that are at our same level, or some had hit Pro 5 a year ago and didn't maintain it, and just talking through different strategies, different belief building activities. But in the US, only 8 out of 100 people are entrepreneurs, guys, like us. 8 out of 100. And so when we get frustrated, or when we feel like we're not finding people, or people aren't getting the opportunity, because that's what we need to be, evangelists of the opportunity as well as the product. You have to just keep talking to more people. Our corporate goal is to triple our checks over the next 3 to 4 years. And Darren Jensen said that's completely doable, but we need about 20% more people coming on as distributors. So just keep on believing in the opportunity. And my advice is, when you're crafting your story, find a way that feels authentic to you, to include the opportunity in the story for whatever people's goals are. And that's where it goes back to asking a lot of questions. Tara Wilson, she was really fun to spend time with, and someone whose personality is pretty different than mine, but yet I saw so much of myself in her. Talking about launching and relaunching, and we can launch and relaunch our business, guys. We don't have to wait until after Long Beach or until January 1 of 2020. Start today. You can just start over and over. Our customers are the heartbeat of our business, so really staying in touch with your customers, and especially with NAD coming out now, this is the perfect opportunity. If you haven't been reaching down and checking in on your customers, this is a great way, a great opportunity to do it. And with that, belief has to be the foundation of our business, guys. And the number one tool in multi-level marketing is how much we care about people, and again, staying connected to them. but in every exchange, you know, in every discussion or every energetic exchange with people, Tara Wilson pointed out someone else's belief. She said, when I sit down with someone, I know that my belief is unshakable. And so therefore I win. And it's not about winning, but it was just her point of work on your belief. And really every day, the more we talk to people, because you're going to find people that get it, that are excited. And so, you know, with that, I see a lot of people really diving deep into this new science of NAD. Dr. Dixon broke it down pretty concisely, but to have a conversation with him directly and have him say that, like, you're going to be blown away. I mean, this seems like it's blowing you away. Just the future of this company is phenomenal. And to hear someone of his education say that he has never felt like he's in a better place is phenomenal. I don't know, guys, I have notes, but basically get to Pro 5 Summit. And then my goal, you know, and what I would say to everyone else is get 5 people. So I've come home now and I've got a lady.
Oops, you froze, Isa.
Guys, phone call. So get 5 more people to Pro 5 Summit. And this is where belief is just made. And it's not about, you know, making you into something. To me, it was about peeling away things while I was there and recognizing that everything we need to know and everything that we have everything within us, guys. If we've made it this far and we're still here and you're on this call right now, you're doing it. So anyway, it was exciting, guys.
Isa, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add before we take it? Let Kevin Messerchmidt, you're so inspiring and you're so authentic and real and just such a beautiful connector. And that's what we are as network marketing professionals. We are connectors in this world, and we're not about getting somebody. We're not about hunting people. I love multi-level gifting. We have a gift here, right? There's nothing on the planet like LifeVantage as far as being able to be healthier and also create incredible income residual, right? So, and one more takeaway, Isa, if you got it off the top of your head. If not, I'll take it over to Kevin.
Just our goal, if you have trouble, guys, saying what you do, because that came up, if people say, what do? You know, our goal as a company is to help people live as long as possible and as healthy as possible. Keeping it simple. So
I love that. Our goal is to help people live as long as possible and as healthy as possible.
And as healthy as possible, yes.
That's beautiful. And with that, helping us live all of our possibilities is Premier Pro amazing man, Kevin Messerchmidt in Wisconsin. Kevin is a dad. He's a friend to all of us. He's a leader. He is an empowerment. I don't want to call him coach. He doesn't like that word, but I need to see that face, Kevin. So Kevin is going to share today. He's going to talk about, he's going to help Jenny Bacon and Anna Merrill. Jenny is a Pro 4 in 2 months in LifeVantage in Prescott, Arizona on Isa's team. She's a hairstylist, owns a hair salon. She's an entrepreneur. She's a real estate agent. And she also owns one of the most historic, if not the historic, VRBO in Prescott, Arizona, right off Whiskey Row. I love it. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's an animal lover. She's a people lover. And she has a burning desire to change her life. And Anna Merrill is in Taylor, Arizona. She's a mom of 6, 4 biological, 3 of the 4 with cerebral palsy. She is involved. She's an artist. She's a writer. She's an illustrator. She is probably one of the most extraordinary women I've ever met in my entire life. She is so passionate about LifeVantage. She's involved with the Special Olympics. Her children's lives have completely changed. She has helped build homes in Mexico for many years in LifeVantage. And she is also a Pro 4 and just got a brand new business partner on a platinum pack last night. Super excited for this man. And so anyway, Kevin, take it away with helping these beautiful ladies. Everybody take notes, because what he has to say to them is going to also help you and me.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I know that I got my picture up. I'm going to explain that in just a second. But first off, girls, that was some good stuff right there. And what I love is hearing your belief has really skyrocketed. And there's nothing that can make you more successful than having the belief that you're going to be successful in the first place. If you don't have the belief and certainty, you can't do anything. So I just loved hearing your state and your excitement, and you guys are so fun and excited. It's cool. I remember Pro 5 Summit. I absolutely loved it. So I'm sure you guys are just on fire. So use that and use the momentum. All right. So why the picture of the, I don't like this picture. So let me just put it right out there. I actually hate this picture.
Well, let's see your face.
Hang on, I'm going to explain. I want you to see the picture. That picture, I use that profile picture because I don't like it. I was at a Pearl Jam concert with my now ex-wife when she took this picture. And this picture serves to me as a reminder of what I never want again in my life. And all you guys that are on this call today, there's somebody in your life that has said something to you or makes you not play the way you want to play life. True? It's like maybe they made you feel small, made you feel bad, and then you don't just become you. This picture, I use it as a reminder that I'll never not be Kevin who's cheesy, silly, goofy, smiles and looks like a dork and all that stuff ever again. Because when she took this picture, my wife's or ex-wife was a photographer, and she said, she always told me, she goes, don't smile. You look stupid when you smile. So all the pictures that we have when we were together are of me looking like this where I don't smile. So that is why I use that as a reminder that I can do anything I damn well please to do now because she's not in my life anymore. So there you go. So here I am, cheesy Kevin with a Santa shirt on in the middle of summer. You guys know why there's a Santa shirt on in the middle of summer? Come on. Who knows?
I like it.
The present.
Yes.
It's about a present.
Yes,
you can do anything
exactly.
you want to, whenever you want to. Every day.
Yeah, it's right. Because both of those, because you see, every day is Christmas because that's why they call it the present. Bam. So there we go. All right. So today isn't just going to be about Jenny and Anna. This is going to be for all of us, okay? There's one thing I know true when it comes to coaching people. Number one, I just want to tell you guys, I am the last person that thinks I'm better than you, okay? Coaching is not knowing more than somebody else. It's seeing eye to eye, but having that coach see through you. And sometimes that can be really difficult, and it can, like, as a few of my clients said, it's like intense. So like when I look into your eyes, it can get really intense. So some people need me to calm it down, and then I just go phone only, okay? But we're looking eye to eye. My job is to add perspective from a different angle into your life as a coach, okay? So when I talk to you, the reality is you already know everything you need to know, seriously. It's funny, I just got off a coaching call before this, and she's like, why do I need you to tell me what I already need to do? She goes, I know all this already, but you saying it's so simple. It's perspective. You're too close to your situation. You're too close to your problem. You're too close to the things that are holding you back. And so from my perspective, it just seems really easy. It's just like when you talk to a friend and you see it so clear when she's dating a really bad dude and you tell them, but they don't want to hear that from you, right? Raise your hands because you can't talk. You tell your friend that you're really dating a creep. What do? They ghost you, don't they? They don't even talk to you for a week or more because they are mad at you because you said, oh my gosh, you don't like my boyfriend. Well, you didn't like him 2 seconds ago. Well, now nobody likes him and nobody likes you for saying it. Well, the powerful thing about a coach is I can say things to you and I ask for permission, but I can say things to you and I'm not worried whether or not you're going to like me afterwards. And because of that, we can usually move forward. Does that make sense? Shake your heads. Okay. So sometimes it can be difficult. So Jenny, Anna, I need you to shake your head and acknowledge that I have the permission and we're in agreement that I can say things that might not be easy to hear. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Jenny, you're already unmuted. So do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to do this real simple. And everybody, get your pen and paper out, because this is not just for them. If you answer these questions, it's going to help you. Deal? All right. This is simple. Jenny, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Are you a little nervous?
Nervous, excited. Yeah.
Okay. Why did you volunteer to do this?
Because I want to grow. I know that I have some issues and I've worked on a lot of them on my own, and I feel like what a huge opportunity to be guided by you.
Okay.
And when you do that more in public, you tend to take more accountability for that. So I feel like there's no better place than the safe haven of my team.
All right. I like that. All right. So let's keep it, because everybody's time is valuable. This is the first question for everybody. Okay. Here's your first question. What do you want? No, you don't have to write it down, Jenny. You're just coming right at me. You're just talking. What do you want? You guys, what do you want? What do you want?
So for me, I you want me to answer that right now?
Yeah, like if we had this conversation today and you got the best results from this, okay? What do you want as a result of this, or even as a result of Life Vantage? You tell me.
I want to learn how to give a better delivery and be a better leader.
I take a lot of notes, you guys. And this is really out of my comfort zone because I like to hear words. It's important for me to get people's words exactly as they speak them. So when I hear her say she wants to have better delivery and become a better leader, when I speak that back to you, is that what you said to me? Is that what you hear? Is that what's in your heart? You want to be able to have better delivery and be a better leader?
Yes.
Okay. So if you see me pausing, that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking some notes. Okay. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And why do you want that? Why do you want to be a better leader and have a better delivery?
Because I know that that's what's holding me back from getting to my emotional and financial goals.
Okay. So if you know that's what's holding you back from getting to your emotional and financial goals, I'm sure you've thought a lot about this, true?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think you should be doing, but you're not, that would lead you to your emotional and financial goals? What should you be doing that you're not doing? What scares you?
Creating a better balance, I believe, in my life.
What's that look like?
I'm not sure, that's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you do. What's out of balance?
I feel as though a lot of times we're so consumed with busy. And prioritizing what it is that
I'm losing your audio.
You were like, oh my gosh, it's only 3. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 3. I think our perspective on everything starts to change, and trying to get everything accomplished according to society and the things that we're supposed to do to create happiness becomes overwhelming, or what we consider success. So finding that balance, which I don't know that there really is a true balance, but finding a balance that works individually to create that happiness sometimes is overwhelming because there's so much tedious small stuff to do.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you straight up, you and I need a longer conversation, but we're going to hit this real briefly because I think we can do something that can start to move you a little bit forward. Okay. From where you're stuck. You said something really powerful there, and you cut off for about, did you guys hear her? For about 10, 15 seconds, you were gone. But when you came back, you said you were consumed with busy. And then I heard you say something, according to society. Do you remember you saying that?
Mm-hmm.
So happiness according to society.
Yeah, we get caught up in that.
Yeah. Do you know one of the things that I find with people, one of the most, this is for everybody right now, one thing that blocks most people, including if you're just stuck in Life Vantage, is I find that a lot of us have what I call value conflict. And I'll give you a couple value conflicts. Ready? Join network marketing, become part of Life Vantage, because if you do, you can have more time with your family. You're going to get more time and freedom. Everybody wants that, right? But then we get into Life Vantage, and those weekends that we had open, what happens to them? We have to make commitments and do other things, right? So if family is a top priority that you have, and you have other commitments now that are taking time away from your family, how happy are you going to be? Is your happiness going to go up or is it going to go down? It's going to go down, right? It's going to go down because you're having a value conflict inside and you don't even know it. You're saying to yourself, family is the most important thing to me. And oh my gosh, I could do this so I can have more time with my family. Oh, this is amazing. And then you join this thing and then you got to be here. You got to be there. You got to do this. You got to miss that and the other thing. And you're like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And a lot of people, instead of being on a call like this and being vulnerable like you are right now, Jenny, they quit. We can slice it any way we want. We can put our heads in the sand and believe this doesn't happen, but this happens. Do you guys agree with me? People quit because they don't want to give up what is most valuable to them, period. I quit because I didn't want people telling me what to do anymore. I'll give you another one. You have a value that you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be your own boss. You want to be a leader. You join network marketing, and now instead of being your own boss and your own leader, you have like 8 or 9 people above you telling you where to be, what to do, and when to do it. It's a value conflict. Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying these things are wrong. It's a big difference. What you have to do is you have to understand where the value is and put it in order, and then understand consciously why you're doing it, and it will erase the conflict. So then it becomes a choice, because right now you feel like you're out of control and you don't have the choice. You do have to go to elite academies if you want to be at the top of the company. If you want to be a Pro 10 and you want to get there super quick, well, then that better be a value for you. But if you join the business because you could do this in your part-time and you like connection and you love the love of the people and all that stuff, and this is just something that you want to do part-time, embrace it. Be that person and own it. Because if you're going to stay around longer because it's who you want to be, then great. But if you take it off and you start going, Jenny, and you go on a thing where you're saying, look, I just want to do this and I want to hit Pro 3 income and I want to enjoy it, and then somebody's telling you got to act like a Pro 10, are you going to stay around?
No.
No, you're not. So you have to put your activities in the bucket where they belong. So a values conflict. If I was to ask you right now, there's, just so you guys know, there's multiple values in our world, right? We have a lot of different things. We have our life values. We have relationship values. You have work values, right? Starting to see what I'm saying? These are all things. But at the very top of it is your life value. It's like, what is most important to you in your life? So Jenny, what is it? Give me the top 3 things in your life. What are the top 3 things that are important to you in your life?
My family, the amount of time that I have to do the things that I like to do. And I would say probably the health of all of our family.
How many of you, just raise your hand, would relate to those top 3 things? So quite a few of you. Family, time, health. And I'm going to bet somewhere in there comes spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
In the top 4, if we want top 4 or 5. I'm going to stay with these top 3. Where, just out of curiosity, where is purpose? Where's your sense of purpose? Where does that fall into your life values? Sveta's giving us a big number 1. Purpose. What's yours, Jenny?
Definitely at the top. You,
the
if you
top?
don't have a purpose, yeah, you don't have a strong foundation.
Okay. So I'm going to give you your top 4. And does spirituality belong in your top 5? If I was to give you top 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to use it because I think it's going to help everybody. I think most people have that in their top 5. So we have time, family. So I'm under time as really pleasure. It's time and pleasure, right? You have family, you have health, you have purpose, and you have spirituality. Here's my question for you. What does family mean to you? What is family?
It's your whole life. I mean, that's everything that you're striving for. I mean, if you don't have a family, you're searching for one, and if you have a family, you're protecting it. I mean, I don't know exactly if I have the right words to describe, but it's, for me, you're constantly, you're thinking about how to make your family better, healthier. You're up worrying about them at nighttime. Once
Yeah,
you get one kid going in the right direction, another one is like falling off the trail. Like it's
perfect.
your whole purpose of life is your family.
Your whole purpose. All right. So you guys hearing how important family is to her? Your whole purpose. So you define family as your whole life, everything you're striving for, your whole purpose. Your whole purpose. All right. How do you define pleasure? Time and pleasure. What's your definition of that? And you guys, you should be writing down your definitions of these things too. Like, because everybody's definition is individual. Okay, go ahead.
I believe that time and pleasure comes in because you want to be able to relax and enjoy, and a huge part of that is with your family.
Okay. Relax, enjoy, and there comes that family thing again. Health. What's your definition of health?
For me, because both my parents died of cancer before I was 21, it's up there pretty strong because I have kids that now neither of my parents met my kids. So I have kids that I want to be around for when they have kids. Health is the whole reason that I ended up finding Life Manage. Or it found me, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So do you hear that though? Health, the definition of health for you is it's really about being around. So health for you is about being around for family. So it comes right back to the family, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your purpose? Define purpose. What's purpose mean to you?
Gosh, I haven't really thought about that one. My purpose, I guess, would be that I'm able again to, I struggle with my delivery on a lot of things, and my purpose for my family would be able to be somebody they could rely on and know that I am there to love them unconditionally, but do it in a manner that I have a strong foundation and I can guide them. And I think that's probably where I struggle most. Okay.
What about, I want to make it more personal. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit on you. Okay.
Okay.
What's your purpose? What are you serving the world? How are you serving the world, and who are you serving?
So I have a super strong faith. I would never say, or I don't say anymore that I'm religious. I just have a very strong faith. I have, I pray every day. And it's the foundation of where my faith is. And it continues to grow. That's something in my life that I've continued to search, and I feel like that's an ability that I've been able to grow with easily. And I think sometimes that's just the people that you're exposed to, which help that to happen.
Okay. Really good. Thank you. Spirituality, define spirituality for you. You just kind of did, but I want you to focus on what's it mean to you to be spiritual?
It's super important to me. I mean, I'm a strong believer that I don't think that you're going to grow to the person that you're intended to be without having a strong faith. I've been able to overcome a lot of big obstacles in my life because I have a God that I can rely on.
So you have that higher source.
Most
Okay.
definitely, yes.
Right. So you just gave me your top 5 values. If we had Post-it notes, which is what I would do if we're working together, like, and we had a full session, I would have each of you guys write each of your values down on a Post-it note. Okay. And when you would define them on the Post-it note, then the next thing you would do is I would make you put those in order of most to least important out of these top 5 things. So since you don't have Post-its, Jenny, I'm going to turn up the heat on you and make you kind of do this without the Post-it notes. What's number 1?
If I'm going in order as far as how I would build with everything, I would definitely say it would be my faith.
So faith before all is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I don't think that for me, I'm not going to be able to guide or do anything with purpose if I don't have a strong faith.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Could you put your faith before your health? So
Yes.
Can you put your faith before your family?
Yes.
Can you put faith before pleasure?
Yes.
And before your purpose?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel confident on faith being number 1 for you?
I do.
Now the question is, how often do you put faith number 1 in your daily actions? Before your health, before your family, before time, before everything, you start your day. The most important thing is starting with your faith. How often does that happen?
I would say 6 out of my 7 days.
Okay. So you're pretty accurate on faith being number 1 then. Good.
Yep.
And you guys need to ask yourself that question too, because if it's number 1 and you're putting it number 10, you got a value conflict. You seen? Because if she put, let's say she had put purpose at the top, but then faith is number 1, she has a value conflict because she's not giving her purpose the first attention. So that's kind of how this stuff works. What's number 2? What's number 2?
I would say my family.
Why do you say that?
Because the whole reason that I have my faith as first is to give gratitude towards my family, the things that I'm blessed with. And that's the first thing that I'm grateful for every day.
You're laying in a hospital bed. You can't move. You can't get up and enjoy them. Where's health now?
I still feel like health is one of those things that I've watched people come and go with. And so if you don't have a strong faith and give it over to God to take care of that, you're still, whether you have good health or bad health, you're still not winning. If you have health, but you don't have family around to enjoy that with, it still doesn't matter. I mean, you have to have people in your world that you're enjoying your health with.
Okay. So just so you know, I'm just challenge you. I don't care what order your values are in. I'm just going to challenge you on this because it's your values, they're not mine. I'm just curious, like, how many days are you like, oh my God, I'm so worn out, or I'm so tired, or I haven't had a chance to do this, or I haven't done that for me in months, or I haven't taken a bubble bath, or fill in the blank. Like, where are those things for you?
Are we talking about time and pleasure with that, or
no health?
No.
I'm so
okay.
health.
I do like, that's been a priority for me. About 5 out of 7 days I get up early and I do a workout because that's a priority. So
stop right there. Do you work out before you go hang out with the family and give them all big hugs and kisses and be like, all right, let's go to the park. We're going to go play. We're going to do all that. Or did you work out first?
I work out first because they're sleeping. It's the only time of my day that I can do that.
So is it true then that health is in 3rd place and not in 2nd place?
No, I would disagree with that.
Okay.
Because
so you're going to stay with it.
That's just me time managing. I wouldn't say that's something, because there's definitely times if in my schedule, in my regimen, that it is I can't do that because now, you know, I need to go and snuggle my husband because I haven't seen him in the last few days. That will definitely take priority over getting on a spin bike. So
I'm really going to encourage you on this one to pay attention, because I can't answer it for you.
Okay.
But I want you to pay special attention to when you are feeling that you're putting your family way too far up front and Jenny is not being taken care of by Jenny. Because I would say that if I looked on this group of women, ladies, raise your hand if you've ever even had a conversation or you're thinking it. How many of you don't put your mask on first? And you're taking care, whoa, I lost it. Hang on. How many of you guys are running around taking care of everybody else and you're at the bottom of the list? And you start to feel frazzled and out of control in your life. And now they're not even getting the best of you. And so you're there, you're putting them first, but they're like, Mom, why are you so crabby today? Is that ever happening? Okay. So I'm bringing this up because my experience with ladies is that you guys always put everybody else first, and it causes a conflict because then you go to your girlfriends and you talk about, well, my kid needs this and I need that and we need this and I'm not doing this for me. And it's like, you want the family to be first, but if you don't take care of you first, the whole thing about that whole oxygen mask and the airplane, it's been used over and over again. But if you don't take care of you first, you don't have anything to give everybody else. Just pay attention to it. I don't want to focus here, but pay attention to if you get one of those moments where you're feeling like you're overwhelmed because you're putting everybody else before you, you might want to shift that value, because that in itself is a value conflict. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So just pay attention. So family's number 2. What's number 3?
My health.
Number health. 3 is health. What's number 4?
I would say purpose.
And what's number 5 then? Obviously, your pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to continue this list and I added like 5 more, most people are going to see things like security, you know, like financial security, things like that come up, right? Just out of curiosity, would that hit your list anywhere?
Oh, sure.
Okay. The reason I'm asking all these things is we're talking about LifeVantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you're on the call today. And what you said is you wanted to, like, we're so far off base, you want a better delivery and to be a better leader, right?
Yes.
With these values in mind, if you were providing a better delivery and being a better leader, how could you do that with those values in mind? If that makes sense. Am I asking the right question? How could you provide, if you considered your values and consulted those values first, now that you know who you are and why it's important, how could you have a better delivery and lead better?
Well, I'm not sure because my mouth fires off too quick sometimes. So
and what's
maybe
a fire?
Just what I'm thinking.
Just what it's thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you're delivering, is it your words, is it your heart, or is it someone else's?
No, it's usually my words.
Okay. Is it your heart? You skipped that part.
Not always my heart. And that's why I would say that I've tried to get better, but a lot of times I'll react instead of respond.
Okay. So reaction, that's you guys, that's a really good thing to bring up. Reaction's like a nuclear bomb, nuclear reaction, mm-hmm. Right? Responding is a well thought out message. And, you know, like when you react, it's kind of like, you said something, I'm going to say something back. And it's quite honestly, NLP teaches it's an immature response. So when we react, it's immature. And when we respond, it's a very mature thing because you have more information. It's well thought out. It's planned. If you think about like a terrorist attack, God forbid, usually they don't just react and go, hit the button and send a bomb right back at that country. It's usually 12 to 24 hours before they respond when they consult the rest of the nations, right? And so as people, we need to learn how to respond as well and not just react to everything, because reacting is emotional and it brings things out of us that we don't necessarily want to come out right away. Is that true, Jenny?
It's totally true. And I agree. It's a very immature way to be.
Yeah.
And I think about that every time it happens.
And just knowing some things about your family, I'm going to say that growing up, reaction was the way you guys got attention.
Yes.
Yeah. And that holds true for most of us. If you react, and when we're like 3 to 7 is where a lot of our habits as adults actually come from. Can you guys believe that? 3 to 7. So in the ages of 3 to 7, you've learned a lot of these habits. It's crazy. So if you just simply stopped reacting during your delivery and your presentations, what would happen? If you learned how to listen and respond, or even ask the next 1 or 2 questions, what would happen to your delivery?
I'm positive it would get better. It's having that tool to be able to maybe that's exactly what I need to do, is ask another question instead of try and come back at somebody with whatever I feel like I need to react with.
Yes.
Yes.
And did you guys hear that? Stop right there. Did you hear that? How many of you guys react with what you feel needs to be? Because we sit on these calls all the time, and what do I say when they say this? What do I say when they say that? You guys almost like want this diary or this book full of reactionary responses. You don't need it. This is the only thing you need to know. Instead of reacting, everybody write this down. Instead of reacting, just simply ask a simple follow-up question. What do you mean by that? It'll buy you time every single time, and it'll help you better understand the other person's position. Oh, is that one of those network marketing things? And the first thing everybody does is react. Yeah, but network marketing, blah, blah, blah. Let me send you a video. Here's a cartoon that talks about that's not a pyramid scheme. You don't even know that they didn't like network marketing. They might have been looking for the next network marketing opportunity. So if you would simply have responded with, yeah, it is. What do you mean by that? Or why do you ask? Do you start to see how you start to collect information? If you just ask that question, and the responses that you're thinking today that you need a better delivery, how do you think some of those situations would have panned out as compared to what they did?
Well, they probably can sense the fact that I'm defensive. And so a lot of times it's probably validating in their mind that, I drank the Kool-Aid and I fell off the wagon. And so if you kind of put it back on them, it's going to hopefully make them answer their own question to where it validates me being strong in my belief.
Absolutely. And you guys, did you ever pay attention in your family or with your friends, no matter what side of the argument you're on, somebody always likes to argue the opposite side with you. Have you ever noticed that? It's like human nature. It's like, are you sure that you don't want your health to be before your family? No, I don't want it to be before my family. It's like we're going to have those arguments with people, aren't we? It's like we're going to go back and forth. That's just the way life is. But if you ask that question, what do you mean by that? Or why does that matter? And you let them speak, what happens for you? You get time to listen, and you get time to react and respond to what they're saying. And if you had that extra time and you had better understanding, how do most of you think your conversations are going to come off? Are they going to just finger up or down? Better or worse?
Definitely better.
Definitely better. Now on to the better leader. If you led your business, your family, your faith community, and you led by example, by living those values in the order that we talked about your values. Mm-hmm. If you lived in that order, how do you think your leadership stance would become? Like, how do you think other people and yourself would see you as a leader in that situation? If you started to live
if I had purpose on doing that each and every day, it would probably be in a way better mindset.
Yeah. And if you're in a way better mindset and you're taking care of those things that are most important to you first, are you going to call Marisa and be like, oh my gosh, I just don't know if I can do this? I'm not saying that you do, but I know these are the things that we hear. Okay, guys, I just don't know if I can do this. I got so many things. My time is, I just don't have, I know other people can do this, but man, I just can't. You know what? You have all these healthy people. They come into the yoga studio. That's for you. It's not for me. You know, I talk with all these people. I just don't know. Has anybody ever had that conversation? We all have had that conversation, right? You guys, if you simply start to live what's true to you, what you really do is you give other people permission to live what's true to them. You don't have to join this business and quit everything else in your life because you joined LifeVantage. Just because you quit everything else or you show up at XYZ as a badge of honor doesn't mean that it's going to move you forward. It might move you backwards. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing, if you live to your values every single time, and that doesn't mean that you don't have to make sacrifices now and then, right? Sacrifices are different than living to your values. Every now and then we have to make a sacrifice. Right now, my value is sunshine, and I'd like to be out there playing in the sun. But I know that this is important. This is a commitment too. So you have to follow through with commitments. But if it's a choice of, my son is getting married this weekend and I'm going to make it to Elite Academy instead so I can be celebrated because I made the right decision, you're fucking out of your values. I'm sorry for the F-bomb. But you're not living your values then. That's just the way it is. So you have to live those values. And you know what, you guys? I am almost 49 years old and I have never been peer pressured in my life. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and it's because I made a commitment to my grandma when she's 12 years old for no other reason. I'm not better than anybody else. It was just when she died, I just said, I'm not going to drink in honor of her because she didn't want her grandkids drinking. That was it. That's all. But that's a value of mine, okay? And so I just lost where I was going with that. But if you guys just simply start to do what's right for you, and not be peer pressured by everybody else, you're going to love this thing a heck of a lot more. And I realized for me that I was being a bad leader in LifeVantage because I was peer pressuring people because I was taught to peer pressure. I don't even think people understand they're doing it. But it's like, you got to be there. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this other thing. And when I just let go of that control, all of a sudden people wanted to do it for themselves, not because I told them to do it. And people just kept on going. The ones that wanted to did it. The ones that didn't. I wasn't going to change them anyway. It's part of allowing people to be an entrepreneur and do this because they see that they can be the leader. So Jenny, for you today, if you just simply have a better delivery, and I'm not going to say a presentation in front of you, didn't say that. You said a better delivery. If you just simply have a better delivery by not being reactive, was this call worth it?
Oh, 100%, yes.
If you start going out today and you start to ask the next question in response instead of in reaction, what do you think is going to start to happen to your business?
I'm going to hit Pro 5.
Yeah. Really fast, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Because I'm going to be able to allow people to come to a conclusion on their own, and they will see how I'm living my life with LifeVantage with purpose.
Yes.
And my belief is strong. And so instead of trying to convince them through the fact that I'm being defensive, I can just let it happen organically.
And if you're putting that belief first, and you're putting your family first, and you're putting your health first, and you're living that dream, you're living it that way, and they see you doing that, do you think they're going to want what you have?
Yes.
Damn right they will. Okay? Damn right they will.
Damn right they will.
Live your values and lead with responsiveness, not reactions. And you don't need to know anything. You just got to ask the next question and the question after that. Okay.
Okay.
So, Marisa, I know that probably went longer than you were expecting, so I don't know where you want
No,
to go from here. We go.
it was beautiful. I do have a couple of these beautiful people on the Carrie Dickey call. So
Yep.
that's starting now, but I'll tell you what, I took a ton of notes. I think everybody gained so much from this. I did text Anna and said, I bet Kevin will work with you next week on this call. So if we can
Yeah.
do this again, same bat channel a half hour earlier, so that everybody, you know, you don't want to rush something like this, and you want to give it equal time. And Jenny, I just want to say, you know, I learned so much from you, just opening your heart like that, and being brave and vulnerable was so beautiful, because I can relate to a lot of what you say. And I know
Oh,
that
thank
each and every
you.
one of us, yeah. And I learned a whole lot about it. And you've got a heart of gold. So it's just honing in those skills. And, you know, Kevin is wonderful to help us be accountable and just really, you know, look in the mirror and see and not sugarcoat it. But he
Yeah.
does it in a beautiful way.
Marisa, can I say one thing just to cap?
Sure.
I want everybody out there to realize that LifeVantage is super important in your life, but it's a tool. It's a tool in your tool belt. Okay. If you guys give up everything that's important to you and that is of value to you and then put LifeVantage first, you're going to be like, well, when do I get to start loving life again? When do I get to be serving my purpose? When do I get to be with my family? And it's going to become a conflict. Allow LifeVantage to be fun, to enjoy it, to put it in its place where this is a good time. And I'm going to promise you, you're not going to run from this. You're going to run to it more. And as leaders, you guys quit being threatened when somebody else has got something in the works. If you're a freaking beautiful opera singer, go sing opera. Be beautiful. You know who that's at. I'm looking at you way over there, young lady. But be you and allow this to be part of you, because other people are going to say, wow, this is amazing. And so just be you and allow this to be part of you. And it's going to be so much better. You're going to love it so much more, and you're going to flow, and you're going to lead by example. So, Jenny, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
You are too.
All right.
All of you are.
Aw, Kevin, thanks. Jenny, thank you. Anna, thanks for hanging in there and listening, because I know we all learned from this. And Leanne and Isa, thank you for sharing your experience at the Pro 5 Summit. Carrie Dickey call is right now. You'll hear more from Isa and Leanne on that call. And we will be back here next Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific with Kevin. And he will be helping Anna and, of course, helping all of us. So thanks, everybody. I love you all so much, and I'm so blessed by you. Have a beautiful day.
Bye, guys.